Welcome back. Now, Kopanong Local Municipality in the Free State promised to provide alternative shelters for affected residents in Jagersfontein. But did the officials keep their word? Earlier this month, the dam burst its walls, sweeping away several homes and cars. We spoke to emergency services in the hour before, slamming the reports of another dam collapse. Residents have since filed a lawsuit against the owners of the Jagersfontein diamond mine. Now, let's find out how far that process is. We have Andries Nkome. He's the lawyer for Posa Luet's attorneys. That's a law firm, rather, that's assisting residents in the Jagersfontein. Thank you very much for speaking to us, Mr. Nkome. Firstly, how far are processes in terms of this particular lawsuit?
Good morning, ma'am, and thanks for having me. What happened yesterday was that there was a meeting that was called by the local municipality as well as by the office of the provincial housing department. And more than anything, they were seeking to have the buy-in of family members to ensure that they provide housing. But what they proposed is that they were going to get families to be housed in 40 square meter houses. Essentially, that is RDPs, despite the fact that people might have stayed, others in double-story houses or others in much, much bigger structures. So we were saying that it does not go anywhere close to trying and putting these people in the same position as they were prior to the dam collapse. The other thing is that they had said that they needed to have comfort. They needed to have guarantees that there won't be any overflow from the mine wall dam. And what happened yesterday just proved what we had been saying, to say that there is a risk of a further collapse or a further overflow.
And in terms of the Jagersfontein mining company, or the company that owns that mine and bought it from De Beers, are you also considering, do your clients want to also go after them?
Indeed so, yes. You'll realize that the dam collapse happened on 9/11, September 11th. And between then and now, there hasn't been any honesty or disclosure of the real owners of the operation. They're trying essentially to run away from liability. But we have conducted studies that have pointed to that. We know who the shareholders are, we know who the directors are, and we're going to hold them both civilly as well as criminally liable for what transpired.
Mr. Nkome, then also the respondents, I guess, the list of respondents that you're likely to go after should increase then, especially when you look at the fact that we've known that this particular company was told that it cannot mine, particularly there. By the time De Beers also sold the mine to them, it actually was not supposed to, it wasn't conducive for mining. That's what we're hearing. So if your investigations show this indeed, will you go after, for instance, the Mineral Resources Department for giving them the license to continue mining there?
Indeed so, yes. I think the strongest party in this litigation is against government. So therefore, we are still open to making conclusions on our studies to determine as to whether or not we should include government. But if our studies do so find out that government is supposed to be sued for all of this, therefore, we are going to increase the number of defendants, and also the number of plaintiffs, people that we represent, are also going to increase simply because of the continued exposure to harmful environment which is caused by the overflow.
And just lastly, Mr. Nkome, what exactly do the clients want? For instance, from government, are they looking at monetary compensation or the rebuilding of their homes?
Indeed so, yes. People are seeking to be put in the positions they were before the mine dam collapse. So therefore, essentially, it means government must put them in structures similar to the ones that they occupied prior to the dam collapse. But over and above, we're looking at trauma that people suffered, general damages. We're also looking at damages for exposure to the harmful mud which went through the community. So therefore, it is both patrimonial as well as non-patrimonial compensation that these people are looking for.
All right, Andries Nkome, thank you so much for your time here on eNCA. We'll obviously be contacting you throughout the course of this particular part of what's happening in Jagersfontein.